Hey there, I'm the MadCatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, I didn't think I'd be making a follow-up video to the Illuminati and Oz media foreclosure drama so soon, but what a difference 24 hours makes. We have some updates to the story that I had told in my last video. In addition, we have some really dramatic news about the whole situation. I've got the deets, I've got all the receipts, so buckle up and let's go. I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer, and Sybil says please like and subscribe. And believe it or not, between now and tomorrow, we are going to go over 30,000 subscribers. So thank you, everyone. And those of you who are watching that aren't subscribed, please subscribe. We would really appreciate it. But we've got some news about the whole Oz Media Illuminati foreclosure drama that I was talking about in my video from a couple nights ago. Well, after I posted the video, shortly after, and as I was actually getting ready to go to sleep, I got a direct message from Oz himself telling me that I had missed something in my story. And kudos to him and props to him, because he's definitely an upstanding guy, because he wanted to let me know that there was not just the one deed of trust, but there were actually two deeds of trust, both of which are being foreclosed at that foreclosure on December 20th. So this is the situation. I'm going to just give you this little update and then I'll tell you the big news. So at first I was angry with myself for missing this because I had gone through all the documents and somehow missed this. I don't know whether I mistook it for a duplicate. So you can see here the second deed of trust. It was executed the same time as the first one, but for a different amount and a different holder and grantee. So the grantee being the person who is the beneficiary of the note. So this one, where the other one was like 50 something thousand, this one is for $134,027.13. As of the date of Blair filing her election to foreclose, the balance was $133,483.15 with an interest rate of 8%. And the beneficiary or the grantee of this is 9 Point Holdings Inc., which is Blair's holding company. That made his debt to Blair a lot bigger than I thought it was. And I have to say, though, it does not change any of the opinions I gave in that video from Thursday night. I still feel the same way. And I still think that regardless of the fact that the balance is a lot higher, what she's doing is still really crappy. And I think that the fact that she's pushing this to foreclosure is just out of vengeance and vindictiveness. And so you'll see here that 9 Points also filed their election and demand for sale. And that was filed at the same time for Blair herself. And again, the foreclosure sale is going forward, and it's to foreclose both of these deeds of trust. After Oz told me about the fact that there was this other larger deed of trust, that really upset me even more. And honest to God, I barely slept Thursday night. And it's like, you know, I know it's not my drama, but I really feel for this guy. And it really bothered me that it seemed like his goal was that much more insurmountable. And so I couldn't really sleep. I ended up getting a migraine headache. And to pass the time, I went searching for a Grimace Shake in Fortnite. Couldn't find one because I think Baby Gronk beat me to it. And some of you might know the reference to that, and I'm making a joke. So I ended up not really sleeping very well. And when I got up the next day, I had court all day. And when I got home in the afternoon, I messaged Oz and asked him about the fact that there were two and why there were two, because one of my viewers had asked that question. And he said, look, I will email you some information later to explain why that is, because I was, intending to update the story. But he said, look, I'm under a lot of stress because I'm getting ready to do my live stream to try to raise money. And I had mentioned to you guys that he was going to be doing that. So I said, hey, no worries, when you get to it. And so I decided, well, I'm going to go and get on the computer and go on his page on YouTube and see what's going on. Now for the good news. Because yes, believe it or not, there's good news, and wow, what a reversal of fortune. So I got onto the live stream and it had just started just a few minutes before. And I could see that already the pledges were coming in fast and furious, which was heartening to say the least. And I actually stayed on the live stream with him and all the wonderful, wonderful people that he has that support him for the whole stream, and it was like 5 hours. As the night started, the pledges were coming in, and he was getting, a significant amount of money, and I made a couple of donations myself. Everyone was giving him words of encouragement, and he was gracious to thank me for bringing awareness to it, although I have to say, I'm sure my influence was negligible. So the pledges kept coming in. I was crying with the guy, I was like, I felt so bad for him. And it looked like, my God, how's he ever going to be able to cure now that he's got two, that I wasn't aware of the other one, which had a much larger, so I'm sure the cure amount was much larger. And combined with the other one, I was thinking, how is this poor guy ever going to get over this? Well, the pledges started coming in and in and in, and the numbers started going up, and he was crying, and people were crying. It became apparent when it reached like almost $20,000 or $25,000 just on the YouTube donations, because he also had a direct donation page going like for PayPal. And of course, everybody was like, oh my God, and he was totally blown away. He called his mom on the live stream to tell her, and she couldn't believe it, and like she pointed out, the generosity of people, man, it just strengthens my faith in humanity and lets me know that, good people are still there. And the pledges came in and in and in for the whole night. And by the end of the night, he had, just on YouTube, I think it was almost $35,000 raised in addition to his PayPal. And I think he said the total was something close to $50,000. Now, mind you, YouTube takes a 30% cut and PayPal takes a smaller cut, but I think he was going to end up with like $35,000, which he said was enough to cure and to save his house. And everybody was ecstatic that he had succeeded. It was unbelievable in such a short period of time. Like he said, he was going to stream for 24 hours for the first one and then do some follow-ups to try to get the money. And his initial goal was $10,000. Well, that was blown away. And he got into a really good mood, which was great to see. You could see the stress leave his face. And he ended up playing online with One Topic and Wonder. They were playing a game together, streaming live. And then he showed us some stuff that he does with some different online programs that create like space bodies and worlds in space, and it was really cool. And it was so nice to see him. And then he was like, God, I feel guilty about not doing 24 hours. And I was like, dude. And everybody was like, dude, go to sleep, man. You don't have to stream for 24 hours just because you said you were. You don't have to feel guilty about that. Look, you've accomplished your goal. That was the whole point of this, was to raise the money. Well, you've raised the money. Go to bed. Get a good night's sleep. It's probably the first one he's going to have in a very long time. And he was saying, oh, I'll probably sleep for a little while. I'll get up. I'll clean my house. And, Blair apparently took all the furniture. So he's like, wow, now I can clean my house. I can get some furniture. And I sent him a message and I said, make sure you get some sage to purify that place and exorcise the demons. And he laughed and said, that's probably a good idea. He did the impossible. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
You cursed rat! Look what you've done! I'm melting!
He vanquished Blair and stopped her in her tracks from acting out her plan of nasty vengeance and animosity and all of the bad blood that goes with the dark shadow that she casts on everything she seems to touch, in my opinion. So there you go. Oz beat the Wicked Witch. Oz has a chance to finally move forward. And he said he's going to be producing more content. And hopefully we'll get to see that video that he's promised about Blair, that long opus that he has been talking about, now that he's got these worries out of him. And, it's not over till he pays the cure amount. And he's got to do that by the 19th. But it looks like he's got plenty of time to get that done. I'm sure he'll update everybody when it's actually done and everything's officially saved. Thankfully, and I know some of you are going to ask me this because some of you are asking similar type questions, there's not a damn thing she can do about it. Because he has a legal right to cure. She can't stop him from doing that. So the money doesn't go to her. He pays it to the state trustee. The state trustee will then pay Blair. But as far as the state trustee is concerned, as soon as they receive the cure amount, that's it. He's cured. There's no more foreclosure. And I'm sure that she is absolutely livid. Oz goes on. Thank God. I'm so happy for him. I'm sure you guys are too. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm sure you're as elated as I am to see this drama for this poor guy end. Thank you so much to you guys who did go over to Oz's live stream to give him some support. I appreciate that. You guys who are Patreon patrons, our channel members, thank you so much for all the support you give us every month. We appreciate it. It helps with Sybil's care and the care of the other cats. And I appreciate you. I've got another video that I'm going to be putting together. I wanted to do this first because it's time sensitive. But in the interim, take care of yourselves. Love one another. Thank God for good triumphing over evil. And I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.